A chimpanzee cannot follow a pointing finger. Put food under a cup, point at it, and the chimpanzee stares at your finger. Not the cup, the finger. A 3-month-old puppy with zero training looks immediately at where you are pointing. Our closest living relative on Earth fails this test every single time. A puppy passes it without thinking. That gap did not happen by luck. It was built over thousands of years, one step at a time, across every major period of human history. And the story of how it got there changes everything you think you know about the animal sleeping near you right now. This is not the story of wolves becoming tame. This is about how one animal, starting from the darkness just outside a campfire, spent thousands of years building the most precise system for reading the human mind that has ever existed, and how that system shaped the entire history of our species along the way. Around 30,000 years ago, early humans moved across frozen landscapes in small groups of 20 to 50 people. Life was brutal. Most hunts failed. Winter killed people constantly. And at the edge of every camp, just outside the firelight, wolves waited, not to attack, to eat what humans left behind. Hunter-gatherers wasted food constantly. Bones, skins, half-eaten carcasses. To a wolf, a human camp was a free meal that kept moving. The bold wolves crept closer. The aggressive ones got speared. The most afraid ones stayed far back and starved. But the wolves that could read human behavior, that knew when to approach and when to back away, ate consistently and bred. This is the part most people skip. These early wolves were not just becoming calmer. Every single generation, the ones that read human signals best survived longest. The ones that sensed danger coming before humans noticed it. The ones that knew when the group was about to move. The ones that picked up on fear before the threat arrived. Each generation passed that reading ability forward. Stronger, sharper, more precise. The people in your life who always seem to know when something is wrong before you say it are doing exactly this. They are watching you instead of thinking about what to say next. That one shift, from preparing your response to actually watching the person in front of you, is the whole difference. Around 12,000 years ago, in the land that is now northern Israel, archaeologists found the grave of an elderly woman. She was buried with her hand placed deliberately on a small dog. Not thrown in as a tool or an offering. Positioned as a companion, the same way you would bury someone you loved. The emotional bond you feel toward a dog today was already fully formed before farming existed, before permanent buildings, before any writing system on Earth. The relationship was not new. It was already ancient. At the same time, on the other side of the world, dogs were making something even larger possible. When humans crossed the frozen land bridge from Asia into North America around 15,000 years ago, they brought dogs with them. Those dogs descended from wolves domesticated in Siberia thousands of years earlier, crossing Arctic landscapes where one wrong step meant death. Dogs detected predators before any human could, located prey under meters of snow, and warned of dangers hours before they arrived. Humans spread across 2 entire continents. Dogs made that crossing survivable. Without them, North and South America may never have been settled at all. The things that stay beside you through the hardest conditions are worth more than the things that only show up when everything is easy. That is not a new idea. It is just one humans keep forgetting. When humans began farming around 10,000 years ago in the Middle East, dogs changed again to stay alongside them. As people started eating more grain, dogs slowly evolved to digest starch far better than wolves ever could. They grew extra copies of the gene that breaks down carbohydrates. Their bodies rewired themselves from the inside to match what humans were eating. A wolf today still struggles with grain. A dog handles it without difficulty. In one of the oldest permanent human settlements ever found, Ain Ghazal in modern Jordan, dating back around 9,500 years, dog remains appear consistently inside the walls alongside human remains. Not outside, inside. Dogs were already living inside human homes before the wheel existed. Dogs did not just follow humans through history. They physically rebuilt their insides to match human life at every stage. When the world around you changes, ask yourself honestly whether you are changing with it or just waiting for things to go back to how they were. By 7,000 years ago, specific dog types were being carved into stone in ancient Mesopotamia. The Saluki, one of the oldest known breeds, appears in stone carvings from this period. Humans were no longer just keeping dogs. They were choosing them, shaping them, selecting animals for specific abilities. The relationship had become deliberate on the human side. In ancient Egypt, dogs reached a status that no other animal ever achieved. They were given personal names. When a household dog died, every member of the family shaved their eyebrows as a formal sign of mourning. The god Anubis, who guided human souls into the afterlife, had the head of a dog. Archaeologists found a cemetery near the coast of modern Israel containing over 700 carefully buried dogs dating back around 2,500 years. Each one placed deliberately, none killed as a sacrifice. Entire civilizations were burying their dogs the same way they buried their own people. In ancient Greece, Homer wrote about a dog named Argos around 800 years before the modern era. Argos had waited 20 years for his owner Odysseus to return from war. When Odysseus finally came home in disguise, every single human in the household failed to recognize him. Argos recognized him immediately, wagged his tail once, and died. Aristotle, who spent his life studying everything around him, wrote that dogs were capable of a loyalty most humans could not match. In ancient Rome, dogs served in military campaigns wearing leather and metal armor. They carried messages between soldiers during battles. When a volcano buried Pompeii in 79 CE, archaeologists found the remains of a dog lying across a child, positioned as if trying to shield them as the city collapsed. You give things names when they matter to you. The Egyptians named their dogs the same way they named their children. Look at what you have given names to in your own life, and you will know pretty quickly what you actually value. Through all of these centuries, something was also happening inside dogs biologically that no one would be able to measure until thousands of years later. Scientists studying dog and wolf facial anatomy found a small muscle above the inner eyebrow that wolves completely lack. This muscle does exactly one thing. It creates puppy dog eyes. The raised inner brow that makes you want to protect whatever is looking at you. The same expression a newborn baby makes when it needs to be taken care of. Dogs that could make this expression survived better across every civilization they passed through. More food, more warmth, more protection from the humans around them. The muscle spread through every dog population on Earth. One small piece of face built for one purpose only: to get inside the human heart and stay there. Researchers also found that when a dog looks at a human face for the first time, it always scans the left side first. The left side of a human face carries more emotional information than the right. Humans do this with each other automatically from the first months of life. Dogs do it only with human faces. Scientists scanning dog brains found a dedicated region that responds to human faces differently than to anything else, including other dog faces. Not cats, not horses. No other animal that has lived alongside humans for thousands of years shows anything like this. Only dogs rebuilt part of their brain specifically around reading the human face. When a human and a dog look into each other's eyes, both release oxytocin. That is the same chemical that connects a parent to a newborn child in the very first moments after birth. It happens between humans and dogs specifically, not between humans and wolves, not between dogs and other dogs. Two species that evolved completely separately for millions of years ended up sharing the same bonding chemistry when they simply look at each other. Most of what you feel when you look at a dog is real, and it goes both ways. The next time you feel cut off from the people around you, make eye contact with something that genuinely wants to make it back. That response in your brain is not imaginary. It works. Think about the last time you were in a room full of people, and the only living thing that noticed something was wrong was the dog. Think about how long it took anyone else to ask. Dogs have been doing this since before any of us could write it down, before cities, before farming, since the first person sat beside a fire in the dark and something crept a little closer than it should have. That animal was never just learning to live near us. It was learning to read us, and somewhere along the way, it got better at that than almost anyone else in our lives ever did. The dog was never the student in this relationship. Subscribe to Strange Sapiens. This is exactly what we pull apart here.